Let me guess. Somewhere in your journal, there's a beautiful grid you drew with so much hope. Days on one side, habits on the other, water, workout, reading, sleep by 11. Maybe you used different colored pens. Maybe you shaded the boxes in pastel, and for a few days, maybe even a couple of weeks, it looked amazing. Row after row of filled in squares, the satisfaction of ticking boxes. Then one day, you missed. No workout, too much scrolling, sleep at 2 a.m., an empty square. Tell me honestly, did that one empty square feel louder than all the filled ones put together? If yes, you're not broken. You're just a perfectionist with a habit tracker. Habit trackers can be powerful. They make progress visible. They give you a little hit of satisfaction every time you fill a box. But there's a catch. If your brain tends toward all or nothing thinking, either I do it perfectly or I've ruined everything, that same tracker can quietly become a scoreboard of failure. Experts have noticed that too much tracking can fuel anxiety, obsession, and perfectionism, especially when we fixate on streaks and numbers. So, if you've ever abandoned your journal the moment your tracker got messy, nothing is wrong with you. Something is wrong with the rules. Today we're going to rewrite them. If you have your journal nearby, open to your habit tracker page. If you don't, just imagine one. First change: less. Most guides say to keep habit tracking simple and focused. Just a few important habits rather than 10 or 15. Look at your tracker. How many habits are you trying to track at once? If the number makes you tired just by looking at it, that's a sign. For a moment, pick three that matter most right now, not what will look impressive, what will actually support your life. For example, take medication, sleep before midnight, go outside once a day. Circle or mark just those three. If you're imagining this without paper, mentally choose your three. From now on, everything else on that list is optional. Bonus, extra credit. Here's where perfectionism usually sneaks in. We set rules like 30 minutes of exercise or it doesn't count, read 20 pages or it doesn't count, meditate 15 minutes or it doesn't count. So on the days we can only manage a 5-minute walk or one page of a book, we leave the box blank. And then we tell ourselves we failed. But research on habit building suggests something different. Consistent small actions are more powerful than intense, occasional efforts. So next to each habit, I want you to write a tiny minimum. For example, move, 5 minutes of walking, read, 2 pages, journal, 3 lines, stretch, 1 song length. If you do at least that, you can fill the box. If you do more, great. But the bar to win has to be something you can do even on a bad day, because that's how habits survive. They learn to live in your worst days, not just your best. Now, this is the important one. Look at your list of habits. I want you to add one more line. Write, be kind to myself when I miss a box. This is not a metaphor. This is a literal habit. Here's why. Research on self-compassion shows that people who respond to their failures with kindness rather than harsh criticism are actually more likely to try again and build long-term habits. Self-criticism throws your brain into defense mode, making it harder to learn and change. Self-compassion keeps your nervous system calmer, your perspective wider, and your motivation more steady. So here's the practice. On any day you see an empty square, you get a chance to fill this new habit. Be kind to myself when I miss. What does that look like? It might sound like, I missed today, but that doesn't erase all the days I showed up. I'm allowed to be human. Tomorrow counts too. If you do that, you get to fill in the self-kindness box for the day, even if every other box is empty. Your tracker is no longer only a record of discipline, it's a record of how you treat yourself when things go wrong. Take a look at your habit tracker, the real one or the one in your imagination. Ask yourself quietly, are these boxes helping me take care of myself, or are they mostly making me feel like I'm never enough? If it's the second one, you're allowed to change the rules. You're allowed to track fewer things. You're allowed to lower the bar to something you can step over even on your worst days. You're allowed to add, be kind to myself when I miss. Because the truth is, habits grow best in an atmosphere of respect, not fear. In the next episode, we'll talk about mood journals, those little color-coded circles and emotion charts, and why naming what you feel is so much harder than picking an emoji. Until then, if you can, pick one habit to be gentle with this week. Just one. Not to impress anyone, just to prove to yourself that you can build a life without bullying your way into it.